You would think that after the good old-fashioned spanking the Democrats received in the November election, that they would do their best to at least pretend to understand what the American people really want. But by seeing who they elected as vice chairman for the Democratic National Committee, it's pretty clear they still have some lessons to learn. On February 1st, the DNC elected, wait for it, David Hogg, to be one of their 3 vice chairs. Now, you may remember David Hogg as the face of the anti-gun group March for Our Lives, a lobbying group that claims to have turned out record numbers of young voters, of which they say are a force to be reckoned with. You may also remember David as the boy who was either at the Stoneman Douglas High School during the killing in 2018 or grabbed his video camera and rode his bicycle really fast to the school after the killing. His story about his involvement has ever since been, let's say, questionable. Either way, David Hogg, like many anti-gun radicals, has found a way to capitalize on the death of school children in gun-free zones. Not only that, but recently, Hogg has found himself in a little bit of hot water. He created a group called Leaders We Deserve for the purpose of electing Gen Z politicians to office across the country. Now, some reports are claiming that this group raised over $3 million in 2023, but only spent $263,000 on its stated mission. The rest of the money went to, well, other expenses, including $1.4 million on disbursements to themselves for payroll and to political consulting firms and legal fees, in addition to travel and entertainment expenses like hotels, flights, and meals. But that's not all. There's more. Reports say Hogg has been leveraging DNC contact lists to blast out messages soliciting donations to his own political action committee, from which he draws more than $100,000 in compensation per year, according to Federal Election Commission records. Democrats loved him because he wasn't afraid to speak out against the most important amendment in the Bill of Rights, regardless of the opposition and ridicule he's received on a consistent basis. They embraced him in their pursuit of destroying the Second Amendment. Now, David has been a staunch anti-gunner, and it would seem he believes he knows more about the Second Amendment than legal scholars, Supreme Court justices, and our founders, who entrenched themselves in the writing, debating, and ratifying of the Second Amendment. David has publicly posted, after reading about the history of the Second Amendment and talking with a lot of history and law professors, I believe the Second Amendment has been intentionally misinterpreted. It was never meant as an individual right. It was created to protect state militias like the National Guard. Okay, it was never meant as an individual right? It's clear he, along with many other radical anti-gunners, have been persuaded to find a way to twist a very clear doctrine to suit their political narrative. But isn't it interesting how the gun grabbers never want to talk about the part that says the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed? With President Trump in office and a recent executive order directing Attorney General Pam Bondi to weed out any and all Second Amendment infringing laws and policies within the government, including agencies such as the ATF, it seems Democrats believe the answer to gaining power and continuing their assault on the Constitution is David Hogg. Is the DNC desperate enough to elect someone with such a controversial stigma because of his young age and their hope to regain younger voters? Will the Democrats continue to use David as a tool to push for gun control like they have in the past? Well, whatever the reason is for the DNC electing Hogg as vice chair, it seems to be out of pure desperation. As we move into an era of much stronger national support for the Second Amendment, it would appear everything David Hogg has stood for will be severely diluted by a new, energized, pro-patriot, pro-American appetite. During his campaign, Hogg urged the party to become better storytellers. He also said in a statement to Politico, "We need to listen again and have the tough conversations with people from across the political spectrum." Do Democrats think that America will ever take him seriously? Do they believe that his storytelling will connect with Republican voters and especially gun owners? Well, as it seems, even Democrats are hesitant about anti-gunner Hogg's new position with the committee. Matt Bennett, co-founder of the center-left group Third Way, said the most worrying thing is if he carries into this new job a belief that saying what he was saying, but louder, is the way to prevail in red states. A Democrat strategist complained that Hogg can now go on TV as a vice chair for the DNC, speak on behalf of the Democratic Party in a way that can do more harm than good. But Jack Schlossberg, a Democrat influencer, is quoted as saying, "Pumped for David, who was in the arena and helping Dems be cool again." Were they ever really cool? And is David Hogg the guy that'll make them cool? Well, we're going to have to wait and see on that. Apparently, Democrats believe that one of the most anti-gun personalities in America will help them win elections. Well, maybe they're so entrenched in an ideology that despises freedom and our Second Amendment that they'll never be able to relate to real Americans. Thanks for watching Bullet Points. I'm Dan Wass for Gun Owners Foundation. You can find more Second Amendment content and updates at gunowners.com.